Hey, hello everyone. This is Pablo Arias with the International Relegation Partner, and with me, our Professor Wagner R from We Speak Spanish. And this is the Expat Community. The Expat Community is an effort from different business partners, different business partners who are here to help the expats who are coming to move and relocate to countries like Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico. And we want you to enjoy your journey as an expat, as a newcomer, and to learn, your second language. So we're doing this every week for you to learn Spanish, and it is a group effort between, Warner, myself, and others who are making this possible. So without more introduction, this is our third Spanish class. So I'll let Warner take the controls and see you in a little bit. Let
This is
me
our fourth.
fourth. Oh my God, I'm
Yeah, this
sorry.
is our fourth class.
Things are going very quickly. These are moving very, very quickly.
It is
And
amazing. Yeah.
I'm getting comments, from many people. I mean, I have developed a network of uh, friends, expat newcomers, some influencers, and everybody is really impressed with what we're doing. I mean, we are finding different ways to bring value to the community, and this is amazing that we can contribute with your expat journey, helping for you to learn a new language. And we're doing this. You can check us out at theexpatcommunity.com and see many other things that we're doing. We are also translating local news into English, sending those out on Fridays. We're also looking to do meetups. So if you want us to go to your town and coordinate a little coffee or for all meet each other and grab a beer together, we can do these things as well. The expat community is here to unite the newcomers and the ticos or the Panamanians and get us united, and we can all help each other. Well, that's it on my part. Werner, I'll let you take over controls. See you in a little bit.
Hi, everybody. I hope that you are doing well. So I am happy to be here one more week. Yeah, this is not our third class. This is our fourth class. So this is amazing. This is amazing. So I am so happy to be here with you. So I am happy to share with you the way that how I teach Spanish, and this is interesting because this week I received some messages from students that they say, "Are you the guy who is teaching Spanish online? Are you the guy who teach using the five-finger system?" Yes, I am the teacher who is teaching in that way. I am the teacher that I like to share with you all this knowledge. So one more Wednesday, and today we will continue with the class for the next 25 minutes. So we will be studying, um, and we will continue in this session. We will continue with our basic concepts. Remember, still we are not learning Spanish with the system, with the five-finger system, because for me it's very important that my students, they have the knowledge about how we use different concepts, that we have a differences between English and Spanish. So the last week we talked about the nouns. Remember the nouns? So we have 2 weeks now talking about the nouns. We are almost done with that. So um, let me share with you. Let me share with you my screen. But before I do that, so I want to see if you are connected. I want to see your messages through the chat. So where are you? ¿Dónde están ustedes? I want to see. I want to know, where are you? Okay. Meanwhile, I share with you my screen. Okay. Okay, good. So this is what we studied our previous class. So remember what it's a noun. A noun it's a person, animal, thing, or place. In Spanish, we have our nouns are masculine, feminine, singular, plural. Okay. Remember that we saw also that we have a group, that the 90% of the nouns in that group, they could be If they ends with O, those are masculine. If they ends with A, they are feminine. Also, we have another group that we cannot see exactly when we see the noun, when we see the word. It's difficult to identify if they are feminine or masculine because the ending it's with E. So remember this group of nouns, we need to learn that ones. Yeah. Let me review with you some of these. Remember we talked about that ones. El aguacate. So aguacate, let me increase this. Aguacate is one of the nouns that we need to learn because if you see the word aguacate, it's not simple to identify if it's masculine or feminine. So now we know, now you know that avocado, el aguacate, it's masculine. And in the same group, we have el coche, the car. We have el parque, the park. We have el cheque, the check. We have el queque, the cake. We have el café, the coffee. All these nouns, remember we saw this last week. This is a short review. All these nouns, they are masculine. In the other group, we have nouns that ends with E, but we consider them feminine. For example, la carne, the meat, la noche, the night, la tarde, the afternoon. So these three are examples of these nouns that we consider them feminine. So in the other group, also this is something that we saw last week. We saw some of the exceptions. We saw some of these exceptions. For example, problema. So remember I told you this. It's very common that my students, they say, Profesor, tengo una problema. Profesor, tengo una problema. But when my students says that is incorrect. Why? Because problema, it looks like a feminine word. However, problema, it's masculine. So the right way to say that is, Profesor, tengo un problema. I'm sorry. Tengo un problema. In the same group, we have one more word with the same exception. And this word is el sistema. If you see the word sistema ends with A, but it looks like a feminine, however, it is masculine. El sistema, el programa, el clima, el tema, el mapa, el poema. With this group, we can see a small pattern that, if you see that pattern, this could be one of the exceptions. But pay attention to this. Not all the words, when they ends with MA, has this exception, okay? And I forgot last week to tell you about the most important exception. And this exception is the word they. They. En español, día. If you see el día. That is why when you say good morning, we say en español, buenos días. And if you see buenos días, in this case, buenos, it's with O. Why? Because we consider días masculine. If we say buenas noches, see how we can confirm that noches is feminine. Buenas noches. But with buenos días, we should say buenos because días is masculine. So we can say also todos los días. When you want to say in Spanish every day, we say todos los días. Okay. In the other group, we have only, in this case, we have only one example, only one example, that is the word mano. If you see mano, if you see mano, it looks masculine. However, it is feminine. We will say la mano. Okay, good. So basically, with this, we are covering the 99% of the nouns. However, the other 1%, we will see one specific situation. And the word that we will study today is the word agua. Agua. ¿Qué significa agua? Agua significa water. And I want to ask you, it is water masculino o femenino? What do you think? ¿Qué piensan? ¿Agua es masculino o agua es femenino? Okay, Wagner. So normally what I said is el agua. But also when it's plural, we say las aguas. Okay, Wagner, now I don't know if agua is masculine or if agua is feminine. If you see, when it's singular, how we say that is el agua. But when it is plural, we say las aguas. So, it is masculine or it's feminine? What do you think? The answer is water is feminine. Okay, Wagner, but if water is feminine, when you use that word singular, you should say el agua, because el is masculine, but you said that agua is feminine. Wagner, probably the way that how you should say that, it should be la agua. La agua. But I want to say this. Here we will see one specific situation that happens with that pronunciation of this word. Okay? Because the truth is, if we say la agua, it's difficult to say it. Why it is difficult? Because the intonation, the emphasis in the word water, it's in the second A. Here, I will put it in blue. So here is the emphasis. And also the pronunciation of the, la, the emphasis is here. So here we have one situation. The article and the second A in this word, both they are strong. That is how we say that in Spanish. They are fuerte. The intonation is there. Probably in other languages like French, probably you use apostrophe. Maybe you saw that before. La, L apostrophe, and consonant, and vowel. That is exactly for the same situation. In our case, when the article goes together with one vowel and this vowel is there where we use the emphasis, we need to change the article to the male version. So, for example, how I said, to say la agua is not correct because it's difficult to pronounce. So we will do easy this changing la and using el. So in this case, el agua. Okay, Wagner. So I have a question. So in that case, always if you use la And after that, you have a word, and this word starts with one A. Do I need to change always to the male article? Maybe yes, maybe not. So when you should change to the article in the male version, when the accent is in that vowel. Let me give you one example. For example, this. La almohada. La almohada. ¿Qué significa almohada? Do you know what is that? I use almohadas every night. When I am sleeping, I use my almohada, my pillow. La almohada is the pillow. Okay? Wagner. Okay, so in this case, should I say el almohada? Because I can see that almohada or the word pillow starts with A in Espanol. Should I say el almohada? No. We will keep the use of la. So why? Because in this case, with this word, the emphasis is not in the at the beginning of the word. If not, in this case, the emphasis is here. Ah, okay. Remember that in the word agua, the emphasis is here. But now with almohada, the emphasis is not at the beginning. If not, it's in the middle of the word. For that reason, it is not necessary to change to the male article. Okay? So, in this case, I need to say that la palabra agua, the word water, it's feminine. However, when we use the word singular in the singular form and you have the article la, we need to change to el. And this situation is not going to happen when we use the word plural. Why not? Because if you see between la and agua, we have the s, and this s help us in the pronunciation. So we don't need to change the article when the word is plural. Wagner, do you have more examples like this? Yes, we have one more example. The other example is with the word, this one, águila. Águila. ¿Qué significa águila? Do you know the meaning of águila? Águila it's eagle. Águila en español, eagle en inglés. So, if you see, here is easy to see that the emphasis it's in the second A because we have the accent mark. So there you can see where is the accent. So águila ends with A. So that means that it is feminine. So in that case, we should say la águila. La águila. However, if you try to say it with me. La águila. So it's hard to say that. Why? Because both are strong. So that is why, remember, when we have this situation, we need to change to the masculine article. In that case, we will say el águila. Okay, el águila. So now we don't have problems with the pronunciation. So when it's plural, we will say las águilas. We will say las águilas. So with these two words, agua and águila, we can see one specific situation that happens because of the pronunciation. However, the word agua and the word águila keeps the gender, the female gender. Okay? Very good. Very good. With this, we are finishing the chapter about the nouns. Okay? So now you know what it's a noun. Now you know the characteristics of the nouns in Espanol. Now you know about some specific situations with the nouns when they are not ending with O or with A. Now you know that we have exceptions. Now you know that it's not possible to say una problema. If not, you need to say un problema. And also now you know about that when you use the word water, it's not possible to say la agua. If not, you need to say el agua. Okay? If you have questions, you can write it down in the chat and I will answer that questions in our next session. Okay? The second particle that I want to see with you is this one. We talked about a little bit about this particle. Okay? What is an article? What is the article? ¿Qué es el artículo? The answer is easy. Okay? The article is the particle that accompany the noun. Okay, Wagner. So what is that in English? That is when you use the particle the. So you say the car, the apple, the house, the building, the work, the food. So this is the article. But see this, in English, you have only one. You have the. However, now you know this. Our nouns, they are masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. You in English, you use only one form because you can say the car or you can say the cars. So you use the same form, the, but you say car or cars. You can say the house or you can say the houses. You can say the boy, you can say the boys. You can say the apple and you can say the apples. You use exactly the same. However, in Espanol, we need to use four. You use only one in English, but we in Spanish, we use four. See this here. The masculine and the singular, it will be el. The feminine and singular, it will be la. The feminine and plural, it will be las. And the masculine and plural, it will be los. So this is very important. Okay? You use only one in English, the, but we use four in Espanol. Let me give you some examples here. Yeah, we have it now. These ones in English. The car, the cars, the house, the houses. Okay? In this case, car, masculine and singular. In that case, in Spanish, we will say el carro. And now the cars, you are talking in plural. In Espanol, it will be los carros. The house. You know what is the house? Exactly, la casa. And the houses, las casas. Okay? So this is important because in Spanish, this should match. If the noun is masculine and singular, the article it should be masculine and singular. If the noun is feminine and plural, the article it should be feminine and plural. This should match. Okay? But also, we have the following, the use of a or and also when you say some, okay? A car, a house, one car, one house. En español, we use the same, we use for. The masculine and singular form, it will be un. The feminine and singular form, it will be una. The feminine and plural form, it will be unas. And the masculine and plural form, it will be unos. So, un, una, unos, and unas. Let me give you some examples. For example, here, when you say a car, car, it's singular and masculine. So, in Spanish, we will say un carro. When you say in English a car, we will say un carro. When you say in English some cars, we will say unos carros. If you see, we are trying to keep the same matching the singular and plural, the feminine and masculine. When you say in English a house, it's feminine, we will say una casa. And when you say in English some houses, we will say unas casas. Okay? So these are the articles. Just one more time. What is an article? The article is the particle that accompany our nouns. In English, it's easier because you have only one, the. But in Espanol, we have four. Do you remember which ones? Yes, you can see it here. El, la, los, or las. Okay? So, but what's the difference, Wagner? So I have a question. What's the difference if you say, yo quiero comprar el carro, yo quiero comprar el carro, and if I say, yo quiero comprar un carro? See that the sentence is almost the same. However, I am using in number one the article el, and in number two the article un. So, what's the difference? What's the difference? Yo quiero comprar el carro and yo quiero comprar un carro. Do you know the difference? See? Are you sure? Very good. Muy bien. Exactly. That's the difference. When you say, I want to buy the car, that is number one. Number two, I want to buy a car. When you say number one, when you say, yo quiero comprar el carro, you know what kind of car do you want to buy at that moment. You know that the car is the big one, the blue car, the automatic car. So you know the car that you want to buy. But if you say, yo quiero comprar un carro, I want to buy a car, the only thing that you know is that you want to buy a car. But at that moment, you don't know what kind of car. Okay, so with this difference, so in that case, we will call that the article the, it's specific. So when you use el, la, los, or las, you are talking about the specific things. When you use un, una, unos, or unas, we will say that you are talking about general things. So at that moment, the thing is not exactly as specific. Okay? So this is very important because sometimes when the students, they are speaking in Spanish, sometimes the idea is not completely clear. because maybe the noun or the article that they are using is not specific, but maybe it should be general, or sometimes it's general, but the student is using a specific. Okay, so with the idea to end the class, so now I will tell you something more about this, because this is a very common mistake. Okay, so Wagner, yo tengo uno carro. And what my student want to say is, I have one car. I have one car. And if you see the translation, yeah, that is correct. Uno is one. Okay? However, this is a small mistake in Spanish. Of course, if you say that, it's not a big deal, it's not a big problem. However, I want that you know the right way to say that. So, when you want to say in Spanish, I have one car, then the normal mistake is that you say, yo tengo uno carro. Okay? That is wrong. That is not correct. What's the right way to say that? Okay? See this. We need to drop off the O. So, in that case, we will say, yo tengo un carro. Okay? Why this situation happens? Because the noun is masculine. If the noun is feminine, no problema. We will use it like that. But if the noun is masculine, we need to drop the O. Okay? So, in that case, if you want to say a car, we will say en español un carro. But if you want to say one car, we will say exactly un carro. Remember, it's not uno carro. Wagner, yo tengo una hija y uno hijo. No, 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 that is wrong. Yo tengo una hija, one daughter, y tengo un hijo, one son. Remember, we need to drop off the O because the noun is masculine. Okay? So, dear students, I'm happy that you are here with me. So, now we finish two of the basic concepts that we will review, the noun and the article. Okay? Remember, in our next week, we will continue with two more basic concepts. What is an adjective and what is a verb? So, what is an adjective and what is a verb? Now you know what is a noun and now you know what is an article. Okay? So, I see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, our time is up. There's many things, but you know what I want, Warner? I've been listening to the class, and I know, in the last few weeks, I know what you've been doing, as far as the Spanish school, at least in Costa Rica. So, can you tell us a little bit more about? I know you're opening offices in different places in Costa Rica, so I think it's time for people to know a little bit about that. And I also want to share with you who are the expert leaders who are helping this happen. A lot of them are, gonna get connected. Want to watch this. So I want you guys to meet them as well. Warner, go ahead and tell us how can we find you if we want to get the class, if we want to be in person.
Thank you, Pablo. Sure, of course. Yeah, now we are opening new offices. In this moment, our main office is in Santana. So we have an office in Santana Town Center. We have there groups sessions. Every group has 6 students or 7 students. So we have classes for beginners, We have classes for intermediate students. We have classes for advanced students. Because we know that people also is working, so we try to have a different groups in the morning, in the afternoon, and also in 2 weeks we will open a group in the afternoon after 5 p.m. That is in Santana. We have now a new office in Savannah. Now we have a new office in Atenas. I am so happy to do that. In 3 days, we got probably more than 28 students. So 28
Wow,
students in 3 days.
that's nice.
They are waiting. They are waiting to open the school. The school it will be open the first week of November. So if you want to book these classes, go to my website, go to new and current groups, and you can see all the locations there. Okay, so this is exciting. 28 students in 3 days. We have classes for kids, we have classes for teens, we have classes for beginners, intermediate, and advanced groups. We have also our campus online. So this is people that they are not in Costa Rica yet. So they are in USA, they are in Canada, they are even in Guanacaste, but in this moment we don't have a location in Guanacaste. This is our idea next year, but they want to take classes so they can do it online. So November, Pablo, in January 2024, we will be opening a new office in Golfito. Now we have a student.
Wow.
They want classes also in Golfito. So I am so happy. I am so happy. So we are
Yeah.
growing. So we have students around Costa Rica, and I know we will be opening more locations. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Warner. But this Wednesday, we're Wednesday at 3:30 Costa Rica time, 4:30 Panama time, 10:30 a.m. Portugal time. If you are in Portugal, this is free for the community to join. This is the Expat Community. The Expat Community is a platform, a hub for resources for the newcomer who is looking to move and live in Costa Rica, Panama, and other popular destinations. And we want to make your journey as an expat easier and better with the Spanish classes. We're also translating local news into English. That's in the newsletter. And we wanted to do meetups and many more things. So love for you guys to connect, to reach out. If you have ideas for this community, we'd love to hear those ideas. And before we go, I'd like to introduce you to some of our partners, our leaders. They're not all of them. There are more people behind it, but some of them, we make this little introduction of their logos, so you guys are familiar with them, including We Speak Spanish Language School and International Relocation Partner, which is my shipping company that specializes in the expat community. So that's it for today. See you. We leave you with this leader's introduction, so we're finishing. Bye bye.